guys, I'm Ray, and we are streaming blacksmithing. We are here at the Indiana Blacksmith Association's annual conference, and we're gonna check things out. So as we go, or as people trickle in, I'm gonna come this direction. Because this is a road, I'm going to kind of stand, look where I'm going because I want to be safe and whatnot. Um, so we are here in Tipton, Indiana, and the Indiana Blacksmith Association is a affiliate of ABANA, which is the Artist Blacksmith Association of North America. This is ABANA is the over sheltering association, and it is the same blacksmith association that BAM is a part of. So this is just another annual conference. And yeah, so welcome in, Ping. Welcome in. So, greetings. We are heading in towards where the registration is. And there is an iron in the hat and an auction and like I guess a art show going on in that administrative building, and so we're gonna check that out for a little bit. So I think we need to go around this direction, but I'm not entirely sure where I am yet. So, we're gonna figure it out as we go. All right. So I think we need to go up this way. So I'm pretty excited about the conference today. I have been around one time, or like I've been around to take a look at what all is around in the morning when we first got here, kind of get a lay of the land a little bit and do a little bit of planning. So I'm a little bit less off the cuff than I was for the BAM conference, and so I have already talked to a couple different people and gotten permission to talk to them. So we'll talk to those people. And then there's a few other people that were just really busy. So I didn't get a chance to like prep them. So we'll see if we can't, get a hold of some of them and see who we can talk to. So this is a little bit on the smaller side of, or than the BAM conference. It is, but it is very close knit. Everybody I have talked to has been incredibly nice and had nothing but good things to say about everyone else and the entire organization as a whole. Um, so I think this is really cool. It's the Indiana Blacksmith Association's logo, and it's got these lovely twists in here and some punches, and I think that's so cool. I love the copper fire going on there. So that's a really neat thing. They also have like I guess this is like a book sale, and these are all blacksmithing books here. They've got all kinds of instructional guides and different books that are about blacksmithing. And I haven't actually seen what's going on here, but yeah, I think you could probably order a lot of these online. Um, so it's kind of neat. I saw this as we were passing by and, kind of taking a look at things. And I really wanted to take a look at it, but I hadn't gotten a chance yet. So there looks like some handbooks and things. That's really neat. Um, Kimbu right here. This is the foil gold. My instructor in college studied under Kimbu and actually taught us how to do this in school. So yeah, Welcome in, Mom and Dad. Welcome in. So we are taking a look at the library section. I guess these are, it's a book sale. So all of these books, they are instructional books about blacksmithing and metalworking in general. It looks like there's more than just blacksmithing books here. There's some knife making books. These are really nice. Ooh, these are logging tools. So that's kind of cool. And all kinds of different instructional manuals and things like that. Whoops, I totally just smacked the other. I apologize for that pop. So these are really cool. And it looks like they are Blue Moon Press. So if you're interested, we can take a look. Oh, no problem. I'm live streaming right now. If we could talk to you, that would be great. But there is a live audience, so if you don't want to, I understand. Is this your booth? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Go ahead. Uh, if so this book sale is this? Can you order these books online or
Yes.
is this
At Blue Moon.
okay?
Yeah.
At Blue Moon Press here. Okay.
BlueMoonPress.org.
Yeah. Okay. That is really okay. So here is this the card?
That is the card, yeah.
Awesome.
With the correct information on it.
Yeah, so we were looking at some of the books. It looks like there's more than just blacksmithing here. There's like silversmithing a little bit, some knife making and things like that.
Almost all of it is blacksmithing. There's 2 racks of knife making. There's a little bit of jewelry and locks and stuff like that. And then we have one that just has nothing to do with metal at all. And the kids' rack is not all metal either.
Okay.
But almost all of it is blacksmithing, and this is all I do is go to these conferences and sell to blacksmiths.
Awesome.
So people who say there aren't any blacksmiths,
I mean, there are.
And if there's no books on blacksmithing, I beg to differ again.
Yeah.
Because I think we have almost 400 books.
Wow. That is a lot of books. I've seen some of these like floating around on the internet, but I haven't. There are so many of these that I have not seen.
Yeah. And I don't know. I can't say what percentage is not available anymore. But most of them you can. Like, and it depends because some of them go out of print, and then you can't get them, and it's very expensive to get them reprinted. So to get a publisher to do it,
yes,
like, you know,
of course, yeah.
So, but then like the Francis Whitaker cookbook, do you know that one?
I don't think so.
That is, it is, well, it's one of the books. But this one went out of print and it was selling on the internet for $700. And my mom said, Francis will be rolling over in his grave, and so she reprinted it.
Awesome.
And that's one of the original books, and he's the one who got my mom into doing
the blacksmithing books?
Yeah, get it, because he's like, there aren't any books out there, and I came into it, of course, and I'm like, what do you mean there's not any books out there? There's tons of them.
Yeah.
And there's just, all the time there's new books coming out. People are like, well, I didn't see this one little thing. The guy, those knife mechanisms. He's like, I didn't know somebody who, or I couldn't find a book on how to make knife mechanisms. So then, there's a book.
Awesome.
There's a book on it.
Yeah.
It is a very niche market, you know, and so people are like, well, can you print a book for me? And I'm like, no, my audience is tiny.
Yeah.
And so, and I love it. I love it. It's like family reunions. I get to go to all these family reunions all over the country, and I you just get to meet the people. Blacksmiths are the most amazing people.
They are. I love blacksmith. I love the community.
Yes, the community is just amazing. So I come and people are like, thank you for coming. And I'm like, I wouldn't be here if you guys didn't love me.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So yeah, thank you for talking with me. Yeah.
I'm gonna go off and get my friends.
All right. I forgot to give her the microphone. So thank you, Ping, for that reminder. I need to remember to give people or mic people up when I talk to them. So yes, that was a small press for blacksmithing books specifically. So that is amazing. So over here is kind of there is they run a contest, a at-home blacksmithing contest, and so people will smith the specific item, the specific item that uh, the contest is over, and they do that before they come, and then they bring them here and they get judged by the guests. So we're going to take a look at some of these. So the subject this year was spatulas. So if we can take a look at all of these spatulas. So there are so many really amazing ones. I mean, they're gorgeous. So notable ones here. This one was done by Steve King. He is the president. Put a little hammerhead on the end there, and then this was actually absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I really wanted to take a look at all of these guys. Let's see what else. I thought I saw this one. I believe is for was made by the one of the presenters here, one of the demonstrators. So that one is a solid piece, and it looks beautiful. It looks like it was fabricated from a longer piece of flat stock. Um, so you've got a isolated or a isolation right there, and then it's drawn out and widened out here, and there is a punched hole there. So that is very, very cool. I love that there are so many different skill levels in these spatulas. There are clearly master blacksmiths here, but there are also newer blacksmiths with a little bit less skill. And I think that's great that people are comfortable enough to, you know, bring their work in here regardless of their skill level. So over here are the auction pieces. Some of these are beautiful. Um, so the auction here is to raise money for the IBA, and so that they can buy the tools, the equipment, the coal, and rent the places that they need for or like the facilities that they use for their conferences as well as their meetings and things like that. So these are absolutely gorgeous pieces here. And so back there is a bunch of, this is work from all of the members of the IBA. So there's some absolutely gorgeous pieces in here as well. So this one's a pizza spatula. That's really cool. And so we've got like a blacksmith's knife right here. And this looks like a hand forged hook. That's really nice. And there's a steak turner and a hacksaw. That's a really cool hacksaw. I love how the lever is so that you can change the blades on that. It looks like you pull the this little hook there and then push this up, and this releases the tension on this section here, and you can get the blade released. So that is so cool. I'm really impressed by all of this work. It's gorgeous. So yeah, and then over here, here's some snails. Those are really pretty. These right here, these are gorgeous. These are like roses like we were doing yesterday. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 layers of petals on this guy. This guy right here has probably 2 or 3 layers. Some of these actually can be created from a solid piece of steel. And some of these are created using kits very similar to what we were using yesterday. So when we go to the tailgate sale, they actually have kits for sale that you can purchase, and you could make roses like that. Very, very good. So there's a lot of really beautiful pieces around. So we're gonna walk around just a little bit longer, and then we're going to move over towards the tailgate sale. There is also a couple demonstrators over there, and before we get there, we'll pass by the beginners classes. So we'll take a look at that too. Um, so these are really beautiful pieces made by the members of the IBA. So another particularly cool piece over here is this clock. I think this is so neat with all of the texturing and stuff on that. It almost looks like wood, and that's actually steel and brass. So that is really, really cool. So when we were at the BAM conference, there was actually a gallery very similar to this, and I didn't know about it until the second day of the conference, so I wasn't able to take us through, and I was a little bit disappointed. You can see a few of those pieces from there in one of my YouTube videos, the overview of the BAM conference. I have a couple shots from the gallery, so. We are going to move on and take a look at the rest of the conference. Ooh, look at these grates over here. These are gorgeous. This one and that one. I mean, look at the details on these guys. So cool. Nice to see you out of the shop. Yeah. We are live today at the Indiana Blacksmith Association's conference. I mean, I do get out and touch grass occasionally, you know. And I mean, look at the detail of this. Gorgeous. Gorgeous piece. Welcome in, welcome in. Hi, Bungalow Glow. Welcome in. Oh, you are in northern Indiana. Well, we are here in Tipton. I believe it's what, an hour outside of Indianapolis? Something like that. So yeah, welcome in. So I guess I'm in the same state as you. That's awesome. So yeah, I wanted to kind of take a little closer look over here. I mean, the absolute amazing detail of some of these pieces, like the pass-throughs. Look at those; those are gorgeous. All of those were punched out and cold connected together, and that is absolutely gorgeous. I am, yes, I'm familiar with Tipton. About an hour and a half from me. Oh, awesome. Well, the conference is going all until about 1:30 tomorrow. So you can come down here and check it out. It is at uh, the Tipton County Fairgrounds. So if you want to check it out, come on down. So this is the registration over here. We did that already. You can kind of see my name tag, and everything. So we're gonna head out and take a look at some of the beginner courses. So I'm gonna put my sunglasses on, you know, so I can see the phone and your comments a little bit. Looks like there is a little bit more people out here in the class area. So let's take a look. We're not going to be able to get too close because we don't want to interrupt the class while it is going. But we can kind of take a look and see what people are doing. If it wasn't cleaning up in my yard from having trees taken down, I would totally make the drive to check it out. I'm even rocking my Dirty Smith t-shirt today. Awesome. I got a Blacksmith t-shirt too today. This is my Repair Days t-shirt. It is from the Memphis Metals Museum. I have not gotten a t-shirt from this conference yet. I'm hoping that I can get a hold of one. I will probably get one later on. Ooh. So earlier today they were doing a beginner's class over on this side of this area, and they were doing there were a whole bunch of little kids that were learning how to blacksmith. So they were doing like leaves and drawing out isolations, things like that. And it was really cute to see them walking around and stuff. Now over here, what they're doing is if you've heard of Brian Brazil or Alex Steele. Alex Steele is very famous. He got his start doing the Brian Brazil Tools to Make Tools curriculum, and that's what they're doing right here. They are doing the Tools to Make Tools Brian Brazil's class, or I guess system. So they are starting from scratch, and they are making punches and drifts and tongs so that they can start making hammers. So everything that you need to make a hammer, they make that, starting from regular stock. And this is an amazing system. There are a lot of different people who are teaching this class now. It's very, very famous. So, you know, you should totally check it out if you are interested in blacksmithing. And yeah, so this is really cool. Look at all these bags of coal. It looks like double the amount of coal that I get. So maybe this is about 100 pounds of coal in a bag there. That's pretty cool. I really like their little carts over here. They're carrying all of their stock and all of their tools in those carts. Or I guess it looks like coal in there. And then there's tools in the other carts. Those are really neat carts. So yeah. All right. So over here, I'm gonna take the sunglasses again. So over here, we are gonna check out the tailgate sale, and there is also some demonstrators going on there. So yeah, we are going to check that out next. So this is at the fairground. So it's very similar to when we went to the BAM conference. They were also at the fairgrounds. So they're also in, you know, livestock pens, which seem to be very, very good for blacksmithing conferences, it looks like, you know. Essential craftsmen ever show up? I don't know. Welcome in, Knife Clan. I am not sure. There were several people in the tailgate sale, but I did not see essential craftsmen. So right here is the first demonstrator. He's that dude out of Oregon. Okay. All right, let's move this way. So this is our first demonstrator. We've been doing a whole bunch of forge welding lately. So our demonstrator is showing the pieces to the audience.
It's still not perfect, but that's what I know, blacksmith. People say, oh, well, blacksmithing is, eighth of an inch, 30 seconds of an inch, whatever. I'm like, well, half-inch difference is okay. So can you guys see it already from just in your mind how cool this is going to be? Like, this is like, is your head going like, not yet? No? Well, you helped me, so you must know where it's going. Right? Anytime you have a helper, they know what's happening too.
So she's using a coal forge and a hand crank blower. So we normally use our gas forge, and I can talk for forever on that gas forge, and I never have to worry about burning my piece. I really respect people who can talk while they're using a coal forge because it is so easy to burn your piece with a coal forge.
And my arm slipped, the hot rod slipped past it, and I ended up hitting my bicep against it. The metal was white hot. My skin immediately went into flames, and then it extinguished. And it was kind of crazy because it was so burned, third-degree burn, the nerves are gone and everything. So I was like, oh, okay. And I mean, it smelled bad, like burnt flesh. It was like, yeah, wow.
So let's take a look at some of the tailgates. And also, there is a second demonstrator down on the other side of this barn. So let's take a look. So I think this guy is really neat. This guy is a crank press. It is the frame of one. So what you would do is there are little marks, clickies that you can use. You can turn this, and then the plunger will go down. And so this guy, it looks like it needs a little bit of love, but it's still good. So that's a really nice piece right there. It's gorgeous. Excuse me. Hi, my name is Ray, and right now I'm live streaming. But if you're not, I was wondering if we could talk to you about your hammers with my audience. I'll ask you a couple questions, and maybe you can talk about them. If you're not comfortable, that's fine.
Sure.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
All right. So, can I ask what your name is and what you do?
My name is Andrew Larson. I make.
Mike.
Yeah, my name's Andrew Larson. I make tools.
Okay.
Primarily tools. Yep. Primarily blacksmith and farrier tools and some construction tools.
Okay. And
Everything here is primarily blacksmith tools.
yeah, it looks like it. So, it looks like you have a lot of different types of hammers. And if I hand this to you,
Sure.
You can just put that to your shirt.
yeah.
What are you guys filming this for?
So right now I'm live streaming to Twitch. I also run a YouTube channel, Ray's Smithy. I can get you a card if you're interested. That way you can check me out later.
Okay. Thank you.
So that's my stuff. And so it looks like you've got lots of tongs here and some grips and some hammers.
Yeah, I primarily have hammers here. I only have a couple pairs of tongs and stuff, but yeah, they're all a little different for different things. But I have a small selection of stuff here.
Uh-huh. So these are all hand blacksmith, it looks like.
Well, I run several power hammers and presses, but yes, they're all handmade. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, power hammers are handmade too.
Yes. Open die forging is handmade.
Yeah.
Drop forging is not.
Correct. Yeah. So what steel are these?
Hammers are 1045. Top tools are 4140,
Uh-huh.
and hand tools are 5160.
Okay. Yeah, so those are really good quality tool steels. Some of them are a little bit softer, like the hammers and top tools are a little on the softer side, whereas the chisels and punches are a little harder so that you can get the most work out of your tools. So are these hickory handles?
Yep, all the handles are hickory. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
These are excellent tools. So it looks like you have several interesting hammer patterns over here. You've got like some angle cross pins.
No, those are double diagonal pins.
Double
So they
diagonal
some
pins.
people like those.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
You're not making Megasaurus.
So, can you tell me why people might like the double diagonal?
Because the peen is in two different directions, depending on which way you turn the hammer. Personally, I don't use them, but some people like them for that reason.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So it looks like you've got some dog heads here. These guys
Yep.
are they oiled, waxed, or what is this patina on here?
On the handle.
Yes.
That's a charred handle, so it's
Okay.
just the surface is charred,
Excellent.
burned.
That is really, really nice. So where do you do your, or where do you make your, or where are you based at?
Western Kentucky.
Western Kentucky?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's where my shop is. Yep.
And so Andrew Larson Blacksmith Tool Maker and Blacksmith right there. Yeah. So do you have a website? Or...
I do. Yep. My website's right there at the bottom.
Right there at the bottom. All right. Cool. So how long does it take to make some of these?
Depends on which, but they're all right around an hour.
An hour?
Right around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jigs and things like that?
Depends on which, but yeah, special tooling.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. All right. So is there anything I haven't asked about that you'd like to talk about?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, these are some absolutely gorgeous hammers. So I really wanted to see if I could talk to that gentleman. Good evening, Sandwich. This guy was very enthusiastic. Yes, yes, they are. So there are lots and lots of good tools here. There's actually a lot more used tools here than new manufactured tools. I feel like at BAM there was a few more industrial companies who were manufacturing tools. A lot of these are much more handmade by individual blacksmiths. And so I feel like that is the kind of community that the blacksmithing community really is. There are individual blacksmiths who are creating works that they're really proud of and that they're doing by hand. And there are also like companies that serve the community very, very well. And it's kind of, oh, I'm silent when I'm talking more to the right. I'm sorry about that, guys. So yeah, the blacksmithing community is, there's a lot of different on there. They're all very kind and very good at what they do. Goat Farm Bluesy knife maker raid. Well, okay, the raid failed, but still. Welcome in, Bluesy. Have you brought the whole raid with you, or is it just you? So I'm gonna try and talk this direction, maybe walk this direction a little bit. It's gonna be a little harder for me. Hi. I'm right now. I am live streaming on Twitch.
Hi, Twitch.
So okay. I was wondering if you guys could, sell me on these pieces of steel, the special steel that you talked
Sure,
about.
yeah. Do you want me to grab it?
Flip you on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Flip
clip
you on.
clip you on.
If you got like a pocket or anything, or that'll work.
Perfect. I don't want to peak people's speakers.
Yeah.
So this is Atlantic 33. They make it in two different shapes. So we've got hexagon and we've got flutagon. It was originally made for submarines when they were in low lighting. They had to be able to grab their steel and know what was good hardenable steel. So that's where the flutes come from. Also, when you're on a submarine, you have to be able to water quench and not temper it because you don't have quenching fluid, you don't have temper ovens. So it's a water quench with no temper. And then also you have to be resourceful and you have to be able to reuse your material. So it's a hardenable steel, but it's very, very, very low carbon. So you can't cook your carbon out of it. Even if you reheat your tool or re-weld it 4 or 5 different times, there's never going to be a point where you lose all your carbon and you lose your hardenability. So it was a government contract that turned into a wonderful tool for blacksmiths. So,
Awesome. So is this available in multiple places? Are you the exclusive provider?
So if you want to buy a lot, you can buy it by the truckloads from Atlantic Steel. It's
Okay.
made here in America. But as far as small scale goes, there's a few guys that carry it. I would say that we are the most consistent with it because a lot of guys will buy it, sell out of it. Kind of once they can get it again, they'll buy it again. But we have a personal relationship with them, so we always have it in stock.
And you,
It's great for drips, punches.
yeah, I mean, it looks like it. I mean, this, it's a great size too.
Yeah.
For that, like tooling and all of that stuff. I'd love to get a piece for a drift. So, how much is the different stock
So the small
sizes?
ones are 20,
20.
the medium ones are 45,
Okay.
and then the large ones are 7.
Okay. And is that the same price for the hex?
Correct. They only make the hex in 3/4 and 1.25 inch.
Okay.
Don't ask me why they don't make anything in 1 inch because I have no idea. But they make the flutagon in 3/4, 1.25 inch, and 1.5 inch, and then the hex they make in 3/4 and 1.25 inch.
Okay. So then that's the 20 and the 70.
20 and 45.
20 and 45.
And then
okay.
70,
and that's
45,
70,
20.
45, 20. Okay. Brain.
Yeah. It's a lot of numbers fast.
Yeah. So you are Coal Ironworks?
Yes.
Okay.
So we mainly sell hydraulic forging presses, power hammers. We just bought the K75. That's how we started, was in machinery. Part of when you sell machines to people and they have a good experience is they want to come back and buy more tools. So we got into materials, steel handles, stuff like that, obviously dies for our machines. And then 2 years ago, we also opened up a school in memory of one of our founders that had just passed away. So we kind of try to cover the gamut and be a resource to our entire community, whether you're, you watch Forge and Fire one time and you fell in love, or if you've been doing it for 80 years and you're about to get out of it, how can I be of service to you and how can I keep this really cool thing going?
Yeah. And we do raid a knife maker. It is on Twitch, and he uses one of your presses.
Okay.
Your coal iron press.
Cool.
So yeah, I've seen I've seen your website. I was like looking at, because you specialize in presses and power hammers, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, and they're all are they the self-contained air?
I do a
pneumatic
self-contained,
one?
and then I also do the K75, which needs a separated compressor,
Okay.
but it's a single blow. And that was made by Grant Sarver. Bob Bergman put them into production, and he just retired. And he just he sold his company to somebody who only wanted to do ornamental work. He didn't want to build machinery. So the guy that bought Postville and Bob both started shopping out for how do we continue the legacy of this machine. And it was a no-brainer. We bought it. Growing up, looking at iForge Iron and all the different websites, everybody always talked very highly of Grant and Bob, and we saw the Ks everywhere. And that machine is part of our childhood and what got us into blacksmithing. So to be the manufacturers now is the coolest feeling on earth.
Yeah. And it's Lone Mountain Knife on Twitch.
Okay, I know Lone Mountain. He's got like an original 16 ton.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
So, yeah, he's got one of your presses in the background of his stream. So that's kind of how I heard about you. So this is my card.
Awesome. I forgot to bring my cards.
Yeah, I forgot to bring cards to BAM when I went there last month, and I was like, I need to bring cards.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Go to the hotel lobby and just print them off real quick.
Yeah. So this is awesome. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
not a
talking
problem.
with me.
Thanks for talking with us.
Is there anything else before I let you go that we haven't asked about that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, so we operate a school, and like I said, we'll teach everything from how to stand at an anvil, how to hold your elbow. Here's what a hammer and tongs are for, all the way up to Charlie Ellis, our instructor, is Charles Lionheart on Instagram. So world-class knife maker, and we teach very intricate Damascus patterns. We had one class that we hosted that you didn't forge in. It was just literally, it was a physics class on the theory of pattern welding. So
wow, yeah.
everything from the beginning all the way up until the end, that's available at coolschool.com. There's also a link on coaliron.com. But yeah, you can also schedule out classes that aren't scheduled. You just tell us what you want to make, and then come and do that. But really, the only other thing I want to cover is like this is cool and it's very approachable. You see guys running forges or you see people out doing stuff, and it's like, it's super cool. I hope an adult will let me do that with them someday. Just go do it. Go do it. Get involved. There's tons of resources, whether you're in California, New York, Indiana, Colorado. Email us, info@coaliron.com. Tell me where you live, and I will find you somebody to go start forging with. It is the best thing that will ever happen to you, whether you do it full time or if it's just your hobby. It'll save your life, genuinely. So get involved, whether it's with us or not. That's the whole idea.
Yes, thank you so much for talking with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah. All right. And Lone Mountain Knife. Yeah. I think I said that already. He's our the guy that we grade all the time at the end of our stream, who has the coal iron press. So yeah. So we've got yes. So I don't want to chase him down though. Looks like he's going to the demo. We'll see if we can get him on the way back. But yeah, he fabricated an anvil. We saw it at the BAM conference in Missouri last month, but he wasn't around on the Friday when I streamed. So yeah, big bot with his anvil, big boy. Yeah. It is hollow, but it is very impressive when you're just seeing it walking down the hall. It's awesome. So yeah. Guy with the anvil over his shoulder. I see that every day here in Cologne. Do you? That is very, very impressive. So I'm very impressed with that. Yes. So yeah. So over here is the patterns. These are the kits, very similar to what we were working with yesterday on the stream. We were making something similar to these. So these kits are laser cut out, and it's a lot easier, to make a large number of the same object when you have a kit. Even so, Bluesy is still impressed, even if it is hollow. All right, so over here is the other demo. So I wanted to kind of show you the other demo.
So we're slowly creeping in. You can see I rounded out basically the entirety of the divider head. It still needs some work, but I think in the interest of not putting everyone to sleep, we'll continue going. So my next step here is going to be kind of refining the fit and straightening the legs, which I can do either at the anvil or at the vise. And I'm going to start laying in the groundwork for our detail, starting on the flats. So they look ugly, but trust me.
definitely did. It looked impressive, Lindsay. It definitely did. I was very confused the first time I saw him, and like earlier today, he was or there that anvil was sitting on top of a bike rack on an SUV, and I was like very impressed because I didn't realize it was the same anvil. I thought it was like a full 200-pound anvil just sitting on the roof of a car. It was crazy. But it's really fun because he brings it around and lets the little kids hang on to it and take pictures and things like that. It's very impressive. You know, your big fish stories and all that. So, I have an interview lined up with this smithy. So, once they are done with their demos, we'll be able to take or we'll be able to talk. Um, that won't be on stream though because that's set up at around 5 p.m. my time here. So that's going to be a lot later.
I'm still gauging where it might be high and low.
So he is making a like a calipers or a compass, like a measuring tool. Lots and lots of filing. When he brought it over, it looked very, very smooth. So, this conference is a little bit on the smaller side compared to the BAM one, so there is a little bit less to see, but it is still a great conference. So earlier today, there were a few more vendors that were manning their booths. It looks like a few of them are taking breaks now, so I had hoped that we'd be able to talk to a few more people, but it looks like a couple more of the people that I wanted to talk to are missing in action. So we'll take a look at some of the tools that they brought. So a lot of this stuff is like used equipment. It is needs a little bit of love, but you know it is still good. You could actually still use this equipment in the smithy if you took a little bit of a wire brush to that. You know, put a little bit of oil. This right here is the bottom part of a fire pot. So right here this is called a clinker breaker. So when coal burns through, it leaves this like glassy like substance that doesn't burn, and you need to get rid of it because it'll create cold spots in your coal. So what you do is you twist this lever here, and it kind of breaks it up, and so that's why it's called a clinker breaker. And then this guy has a hole over here, and that's where you fix your blower so you can heat it up. And so he's got two different styles here. There's the square one and the round one. There, Bluesy, there is your anvil. Well, missing. I mean, I think they're at lunch. They probably are at lunch. It's about 2:30 here. They did take a lunch break at noon, but yeah. So this is an anvil vise, kind of like yours, Bluesy, if I am remembering it correctly. So that one needs a little bit of love. It looks like maybe some oil and a wire brush. So I've been taking a look at some of the older tools, and I think that I might want to take a few home and give them some of that love and put them back into service. So We'll see what we can do. Almost the same. Mine is not quite as rusty. Well, I can imagine it's probably not quite as rusty, especially if you're actively using it. One of the great things about tools is even if they are made of mild steel, if you are putting them into use, into practice, they have a tendency to not use as much or not rust as much. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think some of the vendors are actually taking a look at some of the demos, maybe. So, yeah, lots of really good pieces. A doggy. Puppy.
Y'all need some
Some brass tools. Hi. Right now I am live on Twitch, which is a live streaming platform. Um, and so if you'd like to tell me about your brass and your tools, I would be more than happy.
This right here is called an anvil bick. It is a mini horn for an anvil.
Uh-huh.
I make these out of 4140 steel.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
I saw you
this
have
is really
sucker.
handful. A lot of people use these for making things such as bodkin points, which is a medieval style of arrow. If you're making a fork where you have to do stuff to get it in between, if your horn on your anvil is too big or broken off and you need something small to be able to turn on, it's a handy little tool to have. Somebody scrapped an elevator, and this was the brass trim in an elevator, 50 thousandths thick,
Nice.
and it's really handy for like liners and a knife, or if you're doing stacked handles like leather, brass, leather, brass, leather, brass, super sharp. I've got a crap load of old totes from my factory, and I have a bunch of sucker rod, which is not really common to find in Indiana because it's an oil field byproduct, which is it's a works like a 4140 style steel, and I sell it relatively cheap.
Yeah, they're really good for tooling.
They're really good for tooling, punches, chisels, drifts, any kind of stroke tool. It takes pretty good well of use.
Yeah. So yeah. And then those are your prices right there?
Those are currently my prices, yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, it looks like you have bundles of the sucker rod.
Yeah, I generally bring like 6-foot sticks, like what's laying on the ground in front of you. But somebody suggested to me that people come up in cars and they can't put a 6-foot stick in a car, so I cut up a bunch of just small hand bundles so I could accommodate anybody who just randomly showed up.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But I'm just kind of an old scrapper, and I find stuff that's useful for me, and I pass it on to other blacksmiths, and try to pay for my trip going places.
Yeah, it makes sense. So are you a blacksmith as well?
I am.
All right. Can you tell me about what you make?
Currently, I'm making ladles and spoons quite often, and I will take something like this brass, and I will dish it out into a spoon or a ladle shape, and then attach a handle to it. Spatulas, ladles, spoons, stuff like that. I run a ministry in my shop as well, where I hand forge out nails that would have been like used in the crucifixion of Christ. And I go over to store the crucifixion of Christ while I'm making the nails as well.
Cool.
And I do this for like youth groups and church groups and stuff like that.
Yeah. So when you are dishing out your brass, are you using a swage block or a wood or?
I'm currently using a metal swage block and dishing it down. Brass is one of those types of metal that work hardens. So as it work hardens, you have to go back and reheat it up and quench it in water. Unlike ferrous materials, which is your steels and stuff like that, when you quench a non-ferrous material such as brass, copper, nickel, zinc, and water, it actually softens it. So the more you work it, the harder it get. So you heat it up and quench it in water, it makes it soft again, and that way you can go back to working it.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually got my start silversmithing and doing vessels.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, uh,
So you're familiar with
Oh,
work
yeah.
hard and quite often. I've
Yes.
never worked with silver any,
uh-huh.
but I've been wanting to do silver wire inlay.
Yeah, that's so fun.
And I've seen a few people who've been able to do that. So I'm going to do like silver wire inlay in some of my axes I've been doing, and in some of my meat cleavers I've been doing, and things
Yeah.
of that nature.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that just makes it pop.
Yes, definitely. Um, honestly, I think some of this brass would look good as an inlay too.
I tell you what, I think it would too. Believe it or not, this came out of an old elevator.
I mean,
Somebody
yeah.
was scrapping an elevator, and this was the brass trim around the elevator, and
Yeah.
it was just hauled off for junk.
I
And
mean,
blacksmiths were the original recyclers. They took stuff, what it used to be, and they turned it into something new. So I try to save and recycle and repurpose and reuse most of the things I have.
yeah.
And everybody does their little bit. And if we
Definitely.
all do a little bit, we can do a lot.
Uh-huh. All right. So, are you a member of the IBA?
I am not currently a member of IBA. I'm a member of KFC,
Okay.
which is the Kentucky Forge Council out of Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Okay. Makes sense if you're, from Kentucky.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to talk to us about that we haven't covered already?
If you ask a question, I'll give you an answer. I will not promise you the right answer, but you will have an answer.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking.
Well,
with
you
us.
have a wonderful day, Miss
You
Ray.
too. Yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So, um, over here are some really great pieces of used kit. I really want to take a few of them home. He's a member of KFC. I prefer McDonald's. KFC is the Kentucky Forge Council. So yeah, probably a few, some less chicken, more blacksmithing, more coal, dirt. So yeah, there's a lot of pieces here that need some love, and I'm thinking about taking a few of them home. Okay, when do we get to the axes? I mean, I think there's a couple axes down here. I did actually talk to a few people, but they decided that they would prefer not to be on stream. So I can probably show you the axes, but I'm not going to be able to talk to the people attached to them. Um, so I mean, we can take a look maybe at some axes. I'll see if I can't find some. Oh, in the gallery. Did we miss the? We might have missed. We can go to the Iron in the Hat. Well, extra leisure, of course. We could probably go into the. We didn't look at the Iron in the Hat, did we?
We would look at the gallery.
Okay. Sure. Let's go check out the Iron in the Hat. We've spent a little bit of time here. I think we've seen most of the vendors. Um, so, and there's some railroad track down there. You can make mini anvils out of that. Earlier today, there was a vendor who had already cut ones that were ground down on the top. And yeah.
Especially if it's on a high side or a low side. What I mean by that is that if you look, like this has little bends right here. So if I have that on the end.
So the Iron in the Hat is back in the registration building. So it's going to take us a little bit of time to walk over there. And I made a gate out of railroad track. It's heavy. I can imagine that it would be heavy. Incredibly heavy. So, once we get back into the building, we'll take a look at the Iron in the Hat. Maybe we'll do another pass through the gallery, and then I'm probably going to end up raiding off just so that I can maintain a little bit of battery life for my GPS on the way home. I've got a car charger, but you know, it's gonna take me a little bit to get that going. So, if you have any suggestions on who to raid, do let me know that. We've got a few minutes left. But I definitely wanted to take you through here. Let's move over this side. We're walking in the road a little bit, so there's some people driving around. So, yeah. Walking past more of the beginner classes and the tools to make tools. You can kind of see the silhouettes of those people over there. Don't you have a map? I mean, paper maps are so last, decade. I'm sure I could pick up a map if I needed to. If you don't mind going outside the Smithy world, Cherry Ballet Design is streaming. I mean, we could do that. I'm up for learning about new crafts. So maybe we'll go there. And then we can share blacksmithing with their community a little bit. So we're gonna come back in here and, like I said, or like there might be some axes in here. We'll take a look. Let's see. There was a few really cool stuff. I like the statement. I heard there are also some people coming here in cars. So normally Americans exclusively drive trucks. I mean, most blacksmiths drive trucks because, they gotta transport their art and their steel. So, some people do trucks, some people do cars. So these are the iron in the hat things. Here's a nice axe for you, Yankee. This one's got a nice hand forge with that nice spike on it. Looks like it's got a hickory handle. There's a couple really nice hammers over here. These are handmade over here. Looks like there is like an elk there on the side of that hammer. That might be someone's touch mark. More Holland anvils. There's a couple more pieces. Another hammer, and this is a cross feed hammer, and then there's a ball feed hammer right here. I think that's the only axe that I see. Is there any other axes? Let's take a look over here, see if I can't find some more axes for you, Yankee. Oh, there's two over there. Let's take a look at these. So this one looks like a wraparound. Maybe it was made out of a rasp, it looks like. There's that. That one kind of looks like it's been punched. Nice, nice. These are gorgeous, gorgeous pieces. Come over here, and there might be some more over this way. There's one over right there. This one is a very little one. Okay, Ray, what you have is a nail. Everything is a hammer. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, you can totally see that the hammer on that side, right? When you're a blacksmith, everything is a hammer, right? Teeny and toasty, yes, exactly. It's been oiled black, and that's really cool. more tools and finials and lovely little pieces here. It's like a war pick. That's kind of close to an axe, right? Ooh, a fire poker with a cross. Sure, right? I mean, it's the whole what type of axe are you going for? Are you going for a wood cutting axe or a people killing axe, right? Just like in Pandaria in WoW. So yeah, that is the IBA conference. So we've gone all the way around, and we've reached the 1 hour mark. So I think I'm probably going to shut down because I don't know how long my phone battery is going to last because I did have to do some GPSing. So like I said, we're probably going to raid off here. And let's see. Fiber art. Sherry Bell Design. Is that who you'd like to see? Thank you for taking us along. Have fun. I definitely will have fun. I've still got a few hours to go here. Wait here, hang out, learn things, go shopping a little bit. All right, guys. So thank you so much for coming. And yeah, thank you so much. I will see you on Monday. Let me see. What is that name again? Sherry Bell Design. Let's do that. Okay, yeah. All right. Thank you guys so, so much. And it is going to raid in about a minute and a half. So I think if I stop the stream, that it will just go. So we're going to hit stop. And thank you so much. I'll see you Monday. Later, all.